Look.
Listen. Taylor.
Welcome, everybody, to episode 58 of Look, Listen, Cast with Geese Guyera and Taylor. Today, we're going to talk about Horizons episode 15, which, this is going to be a hard one for Geese to have to answer the question in English, ? Because it's a lot of puns in Japanese, so you could translate it as a million different things. Every Friday, Clambos, we get together and discuss the Pokemon anime and other things. Breaking news, I suppose, something that's very unorthodox for us. We have a correction this week. Perhaps you have heard us call Mystery Green Villain Man multiple times Gibeon. Turns out that's not the case. We have a comment right here from the YouTube video. It says, actually, it is a person named Spinal, which I believe is a Killer Instinct character. So hopefully they don't get sued in English.
Thank you for the correction.
Evidently, this character was introduced in episode 6. Do any of us remember? Not me.
I think I do remember, actually, because I think this is when Amaranth, whatever his name is,
Flaming Amaranth,
he failed to get the pennant again, and at the evil organization, they were like, "You're no longer on the case."
I remember that scene. I don't remember Mr. Green-haired ponytail effeminate man, but maybe he was right there.
Yeah, I think Fluffy Hair was excited about Amaranth being taken off the case, and Gibeon was like, "Amaranth, you're off the case." And Fluffy Hair was like, "Yes." And Amaranth was like, "Well, that's fine. I'm going to do my own thing anyway."
Well, there's no way we could possibly ever check and make sure. So let's move on to watching, playing, eating, looking, goofing this week. For watching, I watched a very adorable little Pokemon trading card game short called Path to the Peak. Path to the Peak. Which was, I actually just watched because James Turner, our boy and yours, he was the head of everything in Sword and Shield for art and whatnot.
Old Jimmy T?
But he's making that new game we all need to get, which is, of course, the Plucky Squire, the cutest looking game of all time.
What is it coming out for?
Everything. I'm going to get it on PS5. He was the creative consultant on the series. It's a cute little animated thing for kids about a kid who gets her mom's old Pokemon cards and making new friends in a new school. Let me, Calambos, look. Because I beat Final Fantasy 16, I have never felt more free to just do anything on my PlayStation 5. So I'm just going through games like nobody's business, just launching them and closing them. So I went Dragon Quest 11 S. Okay, hold on. Everybody, hold on. Now you may be asking yourself, "Oh, so you finally beat that big RPG, huh?" Well, I'd already played it on Switch a fair bit. Well, not a fair bit because that thing's 200 hours long, but to make it less palatable or more palatable to myself, I'm playing it in 2D instead of 3D to just catch up to where I was and skipping through the text boxes. It's fun. Rogue Legacy 2, also fun. Most of this is PlayStation Plus stuff.
Is Dragon Quest the game with the little guys that are drops and blue and they have eyes?
They're called slimes, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Nice.
I also played a little bit of Kingdom Hearts 2.8 Final Chapter Prologue because I never beat Dream Drop Distance. Oh.
Yeah, I get that.
The naming is very confusing.
I think everyone could agree that the Kingdom Hearts naming convention is anything but confusing. Geese.
Very clear.
Wait, this game is called Prologue, Epilogue, something?
Oh, Jesus, Geese. Final Chapter Prologue.
I already played 0.2 Fragmentary Passage and 358 over 2 days, Geese.
He's not going to just waltz into 3, if that's what you're implying.
Does Goofy get to kiss anyone in this game?
I'm sure.
No spoilers. No spoilers.
Here's my problem. I clearly years ago started in proud mode. Not going to happen. You can't change your difficulty. So I'm going to restart the stupid game on easy. Well, probably normal, but I can't with the proud mode. It's frustrating, not having fun.
This is Aqua's chapter, right?
No, that's good. That's a good
Okay.
game. That's
So which
point
one are you?
2 fragmentary passage. I'm just playing Dream Drop Distance.
Oof. Dream Drop Distance I played as part of my giant rush into 3, which I started playing with friend of the show Nick, and then he could just never meet for it, so I still haven't beaten 3. I'm done with like 15% of 3. So for Dream Drop Distance, I just remember spamming some ability over and over again. I played on whatever the hardest difficulty was, probably Proud, but it was very, very simple. So just abuse whatever system. It's not, I don't know, it's fine.
And then I just rushed through the PS1 games. Clambos, video games don't really hold up. I'm sorry to tell you. We get way too spoiled with quality of life improvements, and so it's very difficult to play things such as Herc's Adventures, Twisted Metal 1. Oh, hey! That's it for PS1s. But I also played a little bit of Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart. Very pretty.
That's the new one, right?
That's the most recent one, yeah. The PS5 one that was in the news because they just ported it to PC and everybody went, oh, so they lied about it could only be in a PS5? And then they show the PC footage and it's like a 5-second loading screen, every screen, and it's stuttering. So, yeah, for a good experience, it's only on PS5.
Yeah, people are weird. I played a little bit of that. I always forget, and this is the only series that happens with. Every time I think about playing Ratchet and Clank, I'm like, I don't like those games. Every time I play one, I think, why don't I play more of these?
Well, I'm very similar in that every time I think I don't like these games, it's true, I don't. I can't get into them. But this one seems all right. I don't know if I'm going to beat it, but it's free on PlayStation Plus, so I touched it a little bit. Geese, let's hear you talk about video games and eating.
I've just been trying to complete the battle pass for Fortnite before the season ends on the 25th, and I successfully did finish it.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much. I now have Optimus Prime skin. But
what kind of Optimus Prime is it? Is it like Michael Bay or is it cartoon?
I could not tell you.
It's a cartoon, Taylor.
But guys, I really want to play Baldur's Gate.
Do you really?
Yeah.
That's what I said.
Are you into Western RPGs?
It's a CRPG.
Look, I want to role play and I want to be talking to the animals. I think it'd be a really fun stream game to play with Aaron. However, would I pay $60 for this game? No. So that's why I'm asking you listeners to please donate for my Baldur's Gate
fund. Go to onlygeese.cash.
Yeah, onlygeese.cash, and please donate. Thank you so much.
It goes to her Venmo.
It goes right to my Venmo. So you're telling me both of you have no interest in playing this game?
I have none.
No.
I'm okay. I'm glad that the game exists. I'm glad that it's performing as well as it is after learning more about the developer and how it interacts with the gaming space in general. I just don't like CRPGs.
We need to play Diablo 4 at some point after a price cut.
Yeah.
We had fun with Diablo 3 Clambos. The only issue we had was I was always equipping every new thing I got, and Taylor said, nah, I'll wait a few hours before I equip anything.
Yeah. I've always done that with any kind of role-playing game just because it's almost like a weighted training gear. So if I'm really stuck on a boss, I'll just update all my equipment and get through it.
Mm-hmm.
Also, I watched the first 2 episodes of Star Trek Strange New Worlds. I'm assuming none of you have seen it.
Nope.
No.
So it's set before the original series, and it's okay. It's very reminiscent of Mass Effect, I feel like. And it just feels... I'm so used to the Next Generation. It's so modern, and everyone's, snarky, and has that Marvel type of...
Next Generation had that?
No, Strange New Worlds.
Oh, okay.
And you know what really bothers me?
She'll go off.
I'm going to go off, actually. Guys.
Going off with Geese.
In the first episode, they show Captain Pike. He's riding a horse. He has a thick, beautiful beard, long gray hair. I love it. I love to see it. He looks like a hot cowboy. And someone comes to him and is like, you gotta come back. And he's like, I don't want to go back. And anyway, he goes back and you see him and he's freshly shaved. And I kid you not, I lost almost all the interest I had in watching the show after he shaved his beard. He looks so hot with the beard, and he looks so much worse without it.
I had a similar feeling whenever I saw Jason Momoa in Dune, thinking, wow, you should watch The Thing. There's a good bearded person. Is Kurt Russell in The Thing?
Geese, would you like to discuss Chris's Culver's order perhaps today?
Okay, guys, listen.
Guys, this is a food story.
Ooh.
Yesterday, Aaron was going to the laundromat, and it was entirely full, so I was feeling very frustrated. So he went to Culver's to get a little snack. He ordered some cheese curds and a smoothie, apparently. However, they gave him a different order someone named Chris got, which was 2 deluxe butter burgers, fries, and a milkshake.
I have a question.
A butter burger?
Oh, it's delicious, Taylor. Oh my God, Culver's is so good. But I have a question. I'm raising my hand. Yeah. I'm approaching the bench. Your Honor, I've got it under
Michael,
control.
I'll allow it. Continue. Continuance, Your Honor.
How you order one little serving of curds. How you walk in, order 1 curds, you walk out bag full of item.
Check the credit card receipt.
The only plausible explanation is he knows it's the wrong order, but it has more than he ordered. So he thinks in his head, well, I'm winning this exchange. So goodbye.
I honestly think he was so flustered from the whole laundromat thing, he just drove away.
The whole laundromat situation.
You know what's funny? He called me after this happened, and he called me. I was like, oh, that's not good. And he was like, Maureen. And I was like, oh God, did you get a car accident? Like, that was like my first thought. He was like, I went to Culver's and they gave me lots of food. And he was like, I'm coming with the burgers.
Just now, I was very surprised that he doesn't call you Geese.
He does.
He does actually most of the time.
It's insane.
Why is that insane?
Well, it's not if it's just like a nickname, whatever. But the idea of someone calling someone their screen name is...
Well, at this point, it is a nickname, I'd say.
It's fine. It's just, Taylor, imagine Guncan only calls you Whuzzat. Is what be the equivalent.
So anyway, Aaron comes home with all this Culver's food, and I'm already Tumbo. It's not good. I thought for a second I was gonna yarf in a Costco parking lot. The Tumbo's already bad.
Uh-huh.
But I'm like, look.
Listen.
It's a free burger. Am I not gonna eat it? So anyway, I very regrettably ate the butter burger. Immediately, I gotta lay down. I'm down for the count. I drink so much Pepto. I thought I was gonna yarf several times. So, in many ways, Chris blessed us, but also cursed us.
Way to go, Chris.
Shout out to Chris.
Power Chris compels you.
Got him.
Yeah.
Is it Taylor's turn, or do you need to discuss potato salad this week? I mean, pasta salad.
Also, last night, Aaron made pasta salad. And...
Do we want to blow up his spot?
I'm going to blow up his spot a little bit. He made pasta salad, and he has this thing where he never fully reads a recipe or fully follows it. He'll decide that, oh, you actually don't need that ingredient. And everything tastes fine. Everything tastes fine, except it's like, oh, it would be better if it had blank ingredient that was on the recipe. Anyway, he makes his pasta salad with a recipe I found. Instead of adding 2 tablespoons of lemon juice for the seasoning, he added a half a lemon, which is considerably more than 2 tablespoons of lemon juice. So it tastes very lemony. It's still good, but it's like a very strong aftertaste. Anyway, this is all to say, I love Aaron, and I appreciate him.
Taylor, I see you've watched Fern Gully this week.
Yeah, I watched Fern Gully and Avatar to try to like compare the two of them, which they both have very silly like similarities. One odd example being if you cut down a bunch of trees, just things are on fire all of a sudden.
Yeah.
Okay. When you and I saw Avatar, it was one of the sickest experiences. Everybody forgot about how sick that experience was and started criticizing Avatar. Now, are those films breaking ground as far as storytelling devices? No. It's a rehash of a lot of other stories. Is it incredibly exciting watching him become Turok Moktau? Yes.
Also, if those movies didn't make billions of dollars and were the most successful things on the planet, nobody would be complaining about them. They'd say, "Oh yeah, that was a fun movie I watched." And people like to dislike popular things, and people like to echo the opinions of people they follow on the internet. So that's how that happens.
And I don't know when this started.
What I've noticed is you can like things, but they have to be very obscure that a lot of people don't know about. That's what you're allowed to like and be cool.
I just thought we would have outgrown that and gone into the direction because of like the rise of personal production of entertainment. I thought that we would get into a more encouraging space.
I think in many circles that's true. I feel like it depends on the people who you pay attention to or follow on social media.
Yeah, I guess that's true. So this is, my opinion is kind of based on just person-to-person conversation that I've had since the first Avatar came out, which was like 15 years ago. Movie still looks fantastic, by the way.
I've never seen it.
It was good. It was fun. I started watching season 2 of Foundation, which, as Michael knows, it is called the Lee Pace Show.
Oh my god.
He's the only reason to watch the show.
Does he have a beard?
No. But there's this thing called the Genetic Dynasty, which is incredibly interesting. So I watched the first episode, and I was very frustrated watching it because I was like, you can't turn everything into Marvel. You can't just keep running with like, oh, yeah, we got superpowers now. Okay, we're all good. When you had this incredibly complex world built before. So I started reading a little bit about people's opinions of it. Everyone calls it the Lee Pace Show. And I found out that they aren't really basing the show entirely on the books. So they're creating kind of a new iteration of Foundation within the same universe. And I actually like that. I'm a fan when it's not just, oh, it's the books.
All right, Taylor, do you have any final words about Final Fantasy or sandwiches?
Ooh, boy. I've been eating a lot of sandwiches. So many sandwiches. But Final Fantasy 16 is incredible. A little bit of spoilers, major spoilers. I'm going to kind of dial it back a little bit with specifics. As far as the ambiguous ending goes, I don't like ambiguous endings.
I like amphibious endings.
Got him.
Where everyone's
nice.
frogs.
Skis.
I read some stuff online, and I believe that the ending, I believe we've come to a consensus, the community. We know what the ending is. It's not what I first thought it was. If that tells you anything.
Yeah, I know
Is
it's one of...
in it?
Huh?
Torgal is in the ending, yes. Don't worry. Everybody, not spoilers, Torgal's fine. Everybody, no need to be concerned.
He's a happy little boy. But it's incredible. It's such a good game. And I can't wait until, because recently there have been a lot of articles about Square Enix's latest profit projections and whatever, and people misinterpreting the article saying Final Fantasy 16 didn't meet Square's expectation of sales, because that's a fun thing to say, I guess.
You guys should look at the PS5 install base and the percentage of PS5 owners that bought the PS5 exclusive, and then come to your conclusion on how well it sold. It did.
Yeah. It didn't meet like the upper end of their sales expectations. That I think will change as time goes on.
Square Enix's sales expectations are some of the most notoriously ridiculous in the entire industry. Every successful game they have, they say, didn't meet our expectations.
I don't know if that's just the kind of like humble Japanese part of their business, or if they just...
It's bad for their stockholders.
Yeah.
Imagine we're never meeting expectations.
just talking to Steve Jobs and him saying the iPhone was trash. Nobody bought it. But yeah, it was incredible. I got every trophy I could on the first playthrough. So
you
I
did
think
the
I just
goofball quests? I mean, the timed challenges?
the chronolith trials.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did all those. Those were pretty easy. I think I failed one of them one time, maybe 2 times. But going into Final Fantasy mode is I had some pretty high expectations based on what I read online. Everybody was saying, "Oh wow, it totally changes the game." Just more spongy. That's all.
I wish there was more kissing in it.
There's more kissing in 16 than there is in any other episode of Final Fantasy.
It's still not enough. So
Still not enough.
On the low end of my expectations on kiss sales.
All right, let's move on to Poké News of the Week. Everybody, Poké News of the Week.
Poké News of the Week.
Poké News of the Week.
Clambos, the Pokemon World Championships have concluded. It was very exciting, very hype battles all around in the video
Good job,
game.
everyone. Oh, wait, I can do that.
Japan sweeped the video game championships in both juniors, seniors, and masters, both of them. They won every single championship. It's very exciting. And oh my God.
Congratulations, Japan.
All I got to say, you should know ahead of time if your 2 awkward teen seniors finalists should be on camera or not, giving an interview. I was crawling into myself watching these 2 awkward teenagers try to talk to the microphone, to the people in the audience, and all the thousands of people watching at home. Don't do it. Don't put them through that. They don't want that to be their legacy. Let them play the game they're good at. That's what they want to be known for. Don't make them give a speech. They're not capable.
That's always been such a problem with any kind of video game related competition. This used to happen with Overwatch, because I watched the first season of the Overwatch League, and every single time they had an interview, I would think, just don't do this because you're hurting things. Smash used to be like that too.
It was rough. Okay.
They should have had reporter Geese Peep there.
Should have.
No
Pokemon,
kidding.
the trading card game players are typically more outgoing than the video game players in terms of being able to be entertaining in front of a camera and a microphone. But I had a kind of a problem with the translators talking to all these Japanese people going back and forth. If you're a translator, new job for you. Make sure the broadcast isn't awkward. If they don't understand what you're saying or you're getting a bad answer back and forth, just roll with it. Just you make it good. You're an adult. Make it sound sick. Okay. Now, moving on to reporter Geese Peep this week. She's out in Asia.
Ooh, what part of Asia? Such a small amount of land.
Let's throw it over to her and find out.
Where are you, reporter Geese Peep?
Geese Peep?
Hello? Can you guys hear me? Is the connection good?
Reporter Geese Peep, is your voice much lower than normal?
Wait
Do you have a cold?
Oh no, the connection. Hold on 1 second.
Sounds like reporter Geese Peep has a cold. No. She must have taken medicine because I can understand her now.
I think the connection was bad, and that's why I sounded a little deeper than usual. Anyway, I'm in Shanghai, China, where it's currently 83 degrees Fahrenheit, and the humidity is 84%. Gross! Ugh, I'm sweating.
How's the air quality? Oof.
It could be better. It's not too bad.
Yeah, I remember Ron Song Destro was always going on about when he would visit his wife's family in China, just the black death hanging above everything of pollution when you would land the plane.
Yeah.
All right, Clambos, let's move on to the episode. Pokemon time. Geese. Okay, bye, Geese Peep, reporter. Comma.
Bye, reporter Geese Peep. Great job.
Thank you. Okay. Name of the episode in English. You give it a shot, and I'll try my best to explain. Geese.
Okay. The name of the episode is It's Someone You Can't See. Whosawhatsit? Or An invisible threat. What's that? Iono I don't know.
Glambos, I can assure you that the actual name of this episode in English is nothing like that. They're going to just come up with a new name because the title of this episode in Japanese has so many puns on top of puns about the streamer who her name in English is Iono, which is kind of like I don't know. But in Japanese, her name isn't it Nanjoma?
Yeah.
Okay. So the non part means what
But-
in Japanese?
We love non.
We do. But nani means what. It's often dropped to non desu ka, because you drop the end of a vowel in Japanese when you're combining things. Anyway, there's a lot of puns, is what I'm getting at. So we do not know how they're going to try to translate it in English. But in Japanese, it's Mienai Yatsu da, Nanimon nan ja. And I've included for you, Geese and Taylor, an image in the doc. It's a map of Paldea, just so you have an idea of. There's a scene later in the episode where Roy runs from Artizone to Lavencia. Artizone is in the south there, and then Lavencia is northeast.
I like that you did that. I thought that was where reporter Geese Peep was giving the weather from, and I was like, wow, what an interesting part of China.
All right, Clambos, it's episode 15 of the anime. As you'll recall from last week, Liko has just been hypnotized by Behem and Spinal, or Saberwolf. And we discover via Liko saying, "What am I doing in Paldea?" that Liko has amnesia.
It was kind of sick. Like it was kind of a funny way to find out that she had amnesia, because I was like, oh, it's just a normal episode recap, because she's like, my name's Liko whatever. I signed up for this school. And I was like, man, you're going pretty far back. And she's like, what am I doing here?
Yeah. This whole episode, we're going to keep getting flashes of memories because she can almost remember what happened. The first one we get is this scratch memory of Sprigatito scratching her for the first time.
My question is, does Sprigatito also have memory loss?
No. Wait. Good question.
I think so. I think that's why I interpreted he scratched as well.
I didn't even think of that.
They both were looking at that.
And Sprigatito ran away. So
yeah, that's why. Yeah.
I thought Sprigatito was running towards something, and it didn't make sense for Sprigatito to follow Liko's order, spoilers, later on in the episode so well, because she had to work a long time to get it to really follow her lead.
That's something I didn't consider. Could be. Liko knows that she lost something important, which Glambos we know is the pendant, because Dragonimax has stolen it. Then we cut to the Great Asagi. I call it the salami every time, but it's been weeks. We probably need to say the actual name of the ship at some point. Now we're going back to salami, but just to make it clear, we do know legally it's the Asagi.
And morally.
Everybody is saying, Clambos, where is Liko? She should have been back by now. I'm worried. She's not answering her phone, Geese.
Dot is doing some online sleuthing, and it keeps finding reports from Artizone saying that the reports of her, there's something suspicious, she says, going on in Bulltown, Artizone.
So, of course, that means we're all going to split up. Taylor?
Yes?
Here's what I have to say.
Yes.
There has got to be a safer, some may say, way to transport Roy than a Charizard just holding him and flying into the sky.
Dot was also transported that way later in the episode as well.
That's all I gotta say.
That's not safe, guys.
I mean, Charizard, I don't assume Charizard would drop anything.
Okay, this episode we're going to get a lot of the back and forth, cut, because we have so many people. We have so many groups of people this episode follows. So rather than me saying cut to over and over again, just try to keep track in your mind. Maybe make a chart. Maybe make a little flow chart, a little graph, pie chart as you're listening along. So we cut back to right after I say I'm not going to say cut to. We cut back to Liko, and she finds her little ancient Pokeball, which she's confused by, understandably.
her and Sprigatito are in front of a very cute Sprigatito soda ad.
Very cute.
Very cute.
Sprigatito loves playing with that little ancient Pokeball. Oh, like a little ball of yarn.
She asks Sprigatito if he knows what it is, because she can't seem to remember.
Sprigatito probably says, Sprigatito. Meanwhile, I'll use meanwhile. There we go. Meanwhile, Spinal is talking to Umbreon about the pendant. But back in Artizone, Beheeyem is here. The evil, hypnotizing Beheeyem that has the, well, I'm not going to spoil the seminar at the end. Clambos, everybody's here, all the Rising Volt tacklers. They ask Brassius. Brassius has not seen Liko in Artizone, so what's going on? But, Geese, what does Wattrel notice up in the sky?
He sees, I'm assuming, a Corviknight.
Looks kind of smaller than a Corviknight.
I'm assuming it is a Corviknight because it's holding a bunch of silverware. And I assume it's riffing off of crows and ravens collecting shiny trinkets.
Actually kind of looks like a Corvisquire, sort of, but...
Regardless, Wattrel sees this bird with the shiny things and starts running towards the shiny things.
And we come back to Liko running after Sprigatito. Sprigatito does such a bounce, just jumping over so many stairs and steps. And then, Geese, she sees a beautiful sunset with Sprigatito. Oh, the buildings of Levencia. It makes her think of the salami. The great salami.
Now, yeah, sunsets also make me think about salami too.
Oh, God! Dot has been had. She realizes that this info was bogus. Oh, God, was Liko kidnapped? What are we going to do? And then, Geese, please, because we both had this exact same problem, why don't you please tell me what Frito now decides to tell all of the Rising Volt tacklers?
So, I think Oreo was the one, or maybe Molly, and she was like, maybe it's the explorers. And Frito was like, no, it's probably the guy that attacked me earlier with the Pokemon. And they were like, why didn't you tell us before? And he was like, oh, I thought I did.
He says, and it's a lie, sorry, I didn't mention. What are you setting up, Pokemon? What are you trying to set up?
Captain Pikachu gives him a very disappointed look.
Cap is not pleased at all. So now all of everybody realizes that these Magnetons have been causing this trouble all along, even way back in Arboliva's forest, and we've fallen for their trap. Is Beheeyem sitting right here listening to all of this as well?
Yeah, he's perched on a little communications tower or something.
Oh, right. They are in Artizone. I think Beheeyem is on top of a windmill. And now Beheeyem knows that they know about the trap, so he's telling that to Spinal. Keep track, Clambos. Keep track. I told you pencil and paper needed for this one.
Is Beheeyem also recording audio?
Yeah, he's got a Bluetooth headset, remember?
Oh, okay.
Then we cut to Roy, Wattrel, Fuecoco, and Levencia. Good God, they ran a distance. Because if you watch the old Pokemon episodes, it takes Ash, Misty, and Brock days to get from one city to the next. But in this show, Roy just booked it to an entire different city.
I feel so bad for Fuecoco because he's got the tiniest little legs.
That's true.
Oh my God, Dot is so upset with herself. She can't believe that she fell for this false information. She's got to figure something out, Geese.
She can't just sit around.
What does she decide to do, Geese?
Maybe Nido thing can help. She calls her streamer friend / colleague. She's like, hey, I need some help finding my friend.
We got to make this go viral, Clambos. And Iono, the big famous streamer and gym leader of Levencia. These names are tough, Clambos. These names are tough.
I'm always a little confused.
In general?
Yes. I'm always a little bit confused when I hear somebody in a television show use a word like viral, because they use it very casually and it almost seems like inappropriately. So I don't know if it's somebody very in touch that realizes people who are watching this will respond well to just hearing the word viral, or if it's somebody very out of touch who's like, yeah, kids say viral.
No, I mean, that's this whole series. It's about Zoom meetings and getting more subscribers for your Twitch stream. I mean, they know what's going on. Dot asks Iono for help finding her IRL friend, and Iono can't believe she has an IRL friend. That's very un-Dot-like. There's some fun banter between these two, some fun animation. We've seen this in Sun and Moon, I think, right, Geese, where they have like a comic book panel sort of design, and they're like pushing back and forth between the panel. It's fun.
I have a question.
Yes.
Yes, Geese.
What kind of Pokemon does Iono have? They show in this video.
Belly Bolt. Yeah, everybody loves Belly Bolt. Electric Frog. We're gonna Geese. What do Liko and Iono decide they're gonna do to find Liko? Did I say Liko or did I say Dot? Geese, what do Dot and Iono decide they're going to do to find Liko?
They're gonna do a collab stream.
Oh my god. And we cut immediately to this collab stream. No time to waste. Iono pops out of a giant flashing stage in the middle of Levincia, and Liko is in the crowd, hearing all the commotion. And we see Nidothing being streamed over the internet onto a giant circular screen.
Very sick. Imagine having that much power.
And once again, very sick to anybody who plays the video game. When you battle Iono in the video game, you have to do a gym test. And in this gym test, it's like Where's Waldo? So you have 3 little mini games where you're looking for Mr. Walkabouts, aka, spoilers, Director Clavel of, in this anime, Naranja Academy.
Spoilers.
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 So instead of fighting Mr. Walkabouts, we're going to do a hide and seek. Before it is revealed who they're looking for, Liko says amusingly to herself, man, I wish I could be part of something like that, because of course she is a big, big fan of Nidothing the streamer. And then the big reveal of who they're going to look for in hide and seek. Who is it, Geese?
It's Sprigatito Superfan. It's Liko's username.
Her username and her profile picture is her holding Sprigatito in front of her face.
Which is very funny.
Oh, God. Taylor, the plan backfired. They all find her immediately because she's just standing there. But then she runs out of fear because she's confused and concerned, as maybe a normal person might be.
Iono changes the rules when she figures out that Liko's already in the crowd, and she changes the rules to tag so people have to find her and instead of hide and seek, which is another reason why she starts running.
Yeah, because it's going to be a lot more entertaining for the stream, and she's going to get a lot more gifted subs if they change it to tag, because if it's hide and seek, it's already over. The stream's over. We found her.
This is just so smart. Like, these two streamers are so clever and so good at adapting to situations.
And that's what good streamer's all about. She makes a little Electros remark, who's an electric eel Pokemon. And then Dot disconnects from the call because Dot is not concerned about a good stream. She's concerned about finding her friend. Immediately, she contacts Uncle Fritos, and she's a little bit upset with Iono. Not furious, just a little miffed, saying, ugh, she cares so much about, can't turn it off, the streamer. So Dot fills everybody in, says what's going on. Roy says, great, I'm already here. I got it. This is perfect. I'm in Levincia. I ran over. But then, Geese, what does Dot reveal to the surprise of everyone?
She wants to come. She tells Frito to come pick her up before he flies to Levincia, because it's her friend too.
But Clambos, this is a big deal. Dot never leaves her room. So clearly, she cares more about Liko than even her own personal issues.
And it's also very interesting because Fritos is saying, no, there's going to be some danger here. You need to be prepared. And that doesn't really come up. Like, the idea of preparation doesn't normally come up in Pokemon. Normally, it's just a white knuckle foray into whatever situation's going on. But hearing Fritos say, oh, you need to have a Pokemon to make sure you're okay. Well, I appreciated that.
Yeah, that's a good point.
And now we finally have all the 3 kids with the starter Paldea Pokemon.
It's actually very sick. And I'm seeing a lot of chatter online about all of the predictions people have for these 3. Because I think what we get in this episode is a very clear, okay, here's our team. It's Dot, Roy, and Liko. These are our 3 protagonists. This is our Ash, Brock, and Misty here. Very sick. All right, we're back to Liko. She's running. Everybody's chasing her. Oh my god, the music is so good. It's straight out of the Pokemon video games. I'm already feeling bad for the people watching in English who are just going to get a clown show. Sprigatito, use Leafage. Sprigatito, use Quick Attack. Knock out that Flaffy.
Is Flaffy usually that color?
Yeah. That wasn't a shiny Flaffy.
Is Flaffy usually that incompetent?
Oh, Taylor.
I thought for a second it was a shiny Marapeep or whatever. But
Marapeep?
What's it called?
It's Mareep.
Geese Meeps?
Whatever.
Mareep evolves into Flaffy, evolves into Ampharos. But next Mareep I catch in Pokemon Sleep, it's going to be named Marapeep. Which is a good name.
Marapeep's a very good name for a Pokemon.
Clambos, this is I don't know if it's interesting to anyone. Anytime Geese goofs a Pokemon name, the next time I catch it in Pokemon Go, immediately nickname it. We got Lapidust. We got Cactia. The list goes on.
Wait, what's Cactia's real name?
Cacnea.
Oh, okay. I feel like Cactia makes more sense.
All right, Geese Peep.
You know, it kind of does. So does Lapidust.
No. Okay. All right. Calm down. Everybody calm down. Liko's getting more flashes of memories. Oh my god, her memory. Is it coming back? Dot is so... Clambos? Dot is so furious that she got tricked. She's gonna break out of her shell with Quaxley and her adorable little Snorlax slippers. Now it's on, Clambos. Quaxley slicks back his hair. It's time to go.
As a little side note, I normally hate... Taylor's side note of the week. I normally really dislike Amnesia subplots because it seems a little silly, everything becomes a bit too convenient after that. I really liked how they handled this. And I think it clicked for me whenever Liko was saying, I'm being chased. Oh, wait, I've got to do a good job for the streamer and fight back. And that didn't seem like a artificially kind of way of continuing the plot or making it last a little longer. It actually made sense. I like this episode.
It's fun. It's no last episode, but it's fun. Oh, Roy, Wattrel, and Fuecoco can't find Liko anywhere. Oh, but look in the sky. It's Dippin' Dots and Fritos. But Geese, what happens when Dot has to meet Roy?
So Roy almost immediately recognizes that it's Dot. And Dot is kind of taken aback by this. She was like, how do you know it was me? And Roy says that, of course it's you. Look how friendly you are with Quaxley. And I really like this because Frito makes a little, huh? That kind of sound like that he recognizes and is impressed by Roy's Pokemon observation, which is further character development that has been going on. So I really like that.
Dot is very nervous around Roy because she doesn't like meeting new people. It's not a thing she does, Clambos.
Even though she looks so sick when she has her hair slicked back.
Yeah.
And she has really cool Snorlax shoes.
It's true. Then Dot finds a lead online where they can find Liko. Let's go. Frito's gonna search around from the skies on top of Charizard. And then as Roy and Dot are running to find Liko, Roy says, man, Dot, you're so sick.
That's so cute.
We see Liko run up the stairs of a building, Clambos. Reminds me of a building near my Tokyo hotel with the cash exchange machine that I used.
Shouts out.
And then, Clambos, Liko sees the full moon, and more memories are unlocked. More than just more memories, Geese. All of them. Geese is doing the hand motion that Liko did, like the RE engine. If any of you played Resident Evil, the logo for the RE engine is what Geese just did.
I love in anime and JRPGs, it's really common. Kingdom Hearts is great at it. Showing characters reaching for things. Just always reaching. Nothing right in front of them. Just reaching for the moon.
Yeah. Oh, God, we hear a scream saying where Liko is, and it really scared me. It sounded so realistic. I didn't like it. And the sound effects of Lil Sprigatito running, I don't, they're so silly. Like, blip, 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 blip. And then Liko and Sprigatito are jumping over rooftops, just like in the old days, the first couple episodes. Jumping and running and jumping. And then Geese. Who do we see run up on the other building across the chasm?
Roy and Dot.
Liko decides to make the jump again across buildings with Sprigatito, which I don't recommend because she does currently not have the protective Terapagos pendant that could save her from trouble.
I wonder if that would protect her from a fall.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
You know, there's something called an aura in Foundation that protects people from falling.
Taylor, you're allowed 1 anime minute per, not allowed an additional Foundation minute. If you have an anime comparison, now would be acceptable time.
There's one anime where somebody has a protective shield.
Taylor's anime minute. Oh, the whole gang is here. Oh, man. Geese, we have a little scene here that's so cute. I thought it was funny. As we all know, Liko's never seen Dot, but rather than say, oh, Dot, she says, because she thinks she does know this person, but it's the amnesia making her forget. And she says, oh, I'm so sorry, my amnesia. Who are you again?
But she says that she remembers everything now after she sees Roy.
Yeah. And then from the skies, in a flying carriage full of squawkabillies, this time a blue plumage, green plumage, and yellow plumage squawkabilly, deliver Iono to the top of the building. The roof, some may call it.
Dot runs away.
And Iono gives an interview for all of her audience to both Roy and Liko for the exciting game of tag. Congratulations, everyone. Please introduce yourself to all the Iono heads out there. And Geese, Iono tells Liko that she's lucky to have such good friends that care so much about her. But Geese, who do we hear in the corner on the stream audio?
Neato thing.
She's just talking into her phone, doing the Neato thing voice. Liko's losing it because she's excited about Neato thing. She loves Neato thing. Liko gets real excited, Clambo. She says, I worked with Neato thing? Everybody, subscribe to Iono! And that's the end of that scene. We cut back to Spinal. He's amused. He says, all right. He watches everything unfold and puts the pendant in a very nice case. Honestly, if we're being honest, I think he takes better care of the pendant than Liko ever did. So
he certainly is much more serious about its care. He knows more about it. Like it's not his by rights.
By birth. Okay, then we come back to Liko. She's apologizing for making everybody worry, but it's not her fault. Don't worry. Dot's too tired to stand. She just sits on the ground. Oh no, Geese! What does Liko realize at this moment? She finally remembered what she lost.
She's having internal monologue, thinking about how she has such great friends, and she instinctively goes to hold her pendant, but it's not there.
Oh no, she lost it immediately.
Her memories.
Immediately, Frito puts 2 and 3 and 16 together and says, of course, somebody bumped into you. Did he have a Pokemon that looked like this? And he pulled out his Rotophone and showed a Behem, and Liko said, yes, he did have a Pokemon that looked like that. And somehow that allows Frito to put more 2 and 2s together and say, well, clearly, that means Spinal is nearby. I don't know how he came to that conclusion.
Yeah, I'm also confused by that.
Apparently they figured it out, so I'm going to trust Fritos on this one. And then now, Clambos, we've reached the end of the episode as we get a very sick outro of the Rising Volt Tacklers counterattack and get that pendant back. Hand motion. And they end the episode on a cool, what do they call it? Not a screen wipe, but when the art style changes to like a painting, sort of. That's the end of the episode, Clambos. Thank you so much. And now, like every week, we move on to Uncle Frito's seminar. Geese, please tell us about the seminar this week.
Today, we're doing the brain Pokemon or Beam, or in English,
Behem.
Behem. This Pokemon is enshrouded in mystery, and it commands intense psychic powers. It can use those powers to rewrite certain things like A, sheet music, B, programs, or C, memories.
The answer, of course, is memories. And I suppose you could pronounce his name BM. That's probably right because it's supposed to be LGM, BEM. So the H is kind of silent. So BEM.
It's a very scary prospect having a Pokemon that can alter your memories.
Now I have a question.
Yes, Geese.
I assumed that it could only erase memories, but if it can indeed rewrite memories, why didn't it rewrite Liko's memories so that she was hostile to the rising Voltasaurs?
Volt tacklers.
Whatever. That seems like it would make more sense.
It would make even more sense if it was cooperative towards the explorers, or if she was cooperative towards the explorers.
I'm hoping it's just a mistranslation because that's too scary. The idea of rewriting memories. Oh my God.
Well,
isn't that the scariest thing you could imagine? That's worse than torture, right?
I was horrified at that.
I don't think it's a mistranslation because the last thing Uncle Frito says is, what if maybe all of our memories have been secretly rewritten too?
Yeah, there have to be limits on it. Like it can only wipe, it can only change to 10 minutes of your memory or something.
That's a very scary prospect. We hear Frito say that as we see a cute picture of
like a very innocent looking picture
of Sprigatito, Rockruff, and Palmy playing around while Captain Pikachu watches, and BM lurks in the shadows behind a tree.
So scary.
Very scary. All I gotta say is I hope not. I hope that's not the case. Maybe that's the big twist. Who's to say? All right, Clambos, that's the end of the episode. Thank you so much for listening. I hope you enjoyed it. Taylor's internet has been goofing nonstop, so let's go ahead and wrap this up before it happens again.
Laughing, goofing, disconnecting.
Laughing, goofing, who's to say? Geese, bring us into the wrap-up. Maybe, you know what, Geese? Maybe, because it feels like we haven't had enough of it this week. Maybe a little Hatsune goofballs or a little 1920s gangster or somebody could lead us into the wrap-up.
Thank you, everyone, for listening. You can follow us on social media at Look Listen Cast on Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube.
I thought you were going to use the scary demon voice.
No.
Thank you to Keith for our artwork. You can follow him on twitch.tv/KeithSquared.
He makes great profile pictures. Shouts out to Professor Ticklebits for the website. And what else, Taylor?
Pasta salad.
Yes, the pasta salad.
The mustard salad.
Thank you for the pasta salad. It's so nice and citrusy, very refreshing on these hot days.
It's like when I go to Tombo's and just get a bowl of mustard.
Nice, healthy mustard.
Taylor, you were saying? What are we thinking Professor Ticklebits for?
Speaking of beating the heat, Professor Ticklebits boiled us a plate.
Thank you to all our supporters. You can support us by going to looklistencast.com, or if you listen on one of the podcast feeds, I believe there's a link right there that says support us. Thank you so much. Clambos, please recommend this podcast to your friends and family, perhaps grandmothers, perhaps cousins. Taylor and Geese, please name an additional family member this week.
I'm just going to double down on the grandmothers.
What did Geese say?
Great uncles.
Great uncles. All right, Clambos. Let's move on to the question this week. Please send your questions to looklistencast@gmail.com so we can read one of them each week. This week, again from Triforce Vigor. What hobbies would Pokemon have? Like, would they knit, draw, play video games, perhaps?
I feel like most of them wouldn't have hobbies, but the ones that did, like the humanoid ones, I guess this actually asks a greater question, which is, how animalistic versus humanistic do you think Pokemon are?
Just depends on which one you're talking about.
So I'm imagining Mr. Mime. I feel like Mr. Mime would be just constantly refining cooking skills.
His hobby's cleaning.
Doing Sudoku puzzles, probably.
Yeah.
The easy answer is, of course, their hobbies would include napping, playing with little balls, eating snacks.
Yeah, but eating and sleeping aren't really hobbies, huh?
You'd be surprised. Some people out there. Doesn't Sprigatito enjoy watching the Nido Thing streams too? She likes that.
Yeah, so consuming content.
Yeah.
Rotom Dex likes watching TV.
Lil Rotom from Sun and Moon, wasn't he a big fan of detective stories? So the answer, Triforce Vigor, is all of the hobbies. For you see, Pokemon are a lot more like us than you might first imagine.
Well
Even
said.
we. Yes, Geese?
You can't say well said after I go. All right, Clambos, thank you so much for joining us. Wonderful time with all of you. See you next week with episode
56.
No, don't lie to them. Episode 16 of Horizons the Anime, where we may get spoilers. A little bit of battling with Quaxley. Who's to say?
Oh, I'm actually looking forward to that.
Me too. All right, everybody say goodbye. I better hear so many characters saying goodbye from Geese. I'm telling you right now.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Goodbye.
That one doesn't work. There's nothing happening. She broke the audio.
How did you break the audio?
God, Geese. All right, goodbye, everybody. Oh, no. It doesn't work anymore. She's waving goodbye. She's doing her eyebrows. Okay. She's kissing goodbye.
Like a little, like a pageant thing.
She's doing the
little idol thing.
Howdy, y'all. It's me, Geese Pete. Thank you for listening to the Geese Pete Productions podcast.
Geese Peep Enterprises, doing business as Peep Industries, together with its subsidiaries, is a diversified worldwide entertainment company with operations in media networks, talent management, parks and resorts, multimedia entertainment, and consumer products and interactive media. Geese Peep Enterprises is a Dow 30 company.